Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is Dan Thompson with Claris Networks, and we are here again for another What's Up in Tech This Week. So on tap for today, we've got smartwatches that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about 3D scanners. We're going to talk about affordable robots. We're also going to talk about how the NSA is spying on you even more than you thought they were. And finally, what would Facebook taste like if you could eat it? We'll talk about all those things coming right up. All right, guys, so to start off with, let's talk about smartwatches. So over the past couple of weeks, Sony, Samsung, and Qualcomm have all released what they call smartwatches. Now, essentially what these are, it's a companion device for your phone. So it's kind of an Android-powered thing. Some of them have apps, some of them don't. But the idea is that you can use it to control your phone, so you can pull up like contacts, you can see that you have an email, and so on. Now, the interesting thing about these devices to me, though, is go and look at the comment sections of any of these websites talking about them. They're full of people talking about how stupid this idea is. So apparently, this is a device that no one wants. Now, couple that with the fact that Apple has apparently been rumored to be working on one. People are calling it the iWatch. What will be interesting to see is, will Apple be able to take a seemingly consumer-filled market of people saying, I don't want this, to a group of people who say, oh, well, you know what, turns out I do want this, to see if Apple can change people's mood about this device. And who knows, maybe our wrist will be the next battleground for technology. All right, so moving on to 3D scanners. Now, this is super interesting. So last week I was out in San Francisco. I was at VMworld. They always wrap up the conference with a keynote speech, or speeches, I should say, from 3 innovators in the technology community. Actually has nothing to do with virtualization. So one of the speakers was actually the president of MakerBot, which these guys, if you followed along with us at all, you've heard me talking about 3D printers in the past. So what a 3D scanner does is it's actually a turntable, and it's got these lasers that will scan whatever it is you put on the turntable. So the example that he had is he had like a little garden gnome that he put on the scanner, and the thing just spins around. About 20 minutes later, it has a full 3D diagram, which you can now print out if you have a 3D printer. Now, obviously, just pure duplication is not what we're after here. What would be really cool is if you could take something, scan it, pull it in the 3D software, modify it how you want to, and then print out like your iteration of whatever it is. Super cool technology. Did I mention there's lasers involved? And so the really cool thing about this, and what I think is going to be interesting, is now you can take somebody else's idea and slightly modify it. What is interesting, though, is where will all this lead us in the future? Because now it's trivially easy to rip off somebody's copyrighted or intellectual property, copyrighted idea. And so, where does all this leave us? Are we going to have a bunch of lawsuits to kind of sort all this out in the future? We'll just have to see. I actually asked the president of MakerBot that, and he said, I don't know where all this is going. We've been here before. We'll just have to see how it all shakes out. All right, so another speaker that we heard from at VMworld was some of the guys from Remotive. Now, what they have set out to do is create an affordable robot. So if you haven't seen this yet, go look up their website, remotive.com, I believe is what it is. The little robot's name is Romo. And essentially what it does is it uses the brain of an iPhone to control this little kind of tank tread thing. What's super cool about it, though, is they've designed a programming language around the robot itself that an 8-year-old could figure out. So this is not super complicated programming. Just neat and easy, and the thing is just super sweet. You're gonna have to check it out. Basically, you can program it to where it sees me, it gets excited. If it sees your buddy, it gets scared. So all kinds of cool stuff. Make sure you check that out. All right, so let's talk about the NSA for just a second here. So now, I'm sorry, excuse me, forgive me, my face will turn red during this conversation. Yesterday, we had some announcements that came out. Basically, the New York Times released a statement showing where the NSA was requesting funding for some of their operations. No big deal. However, what was in this documentation was information basically showing that the NSA is able to crack SSL certificates. Now, what in the world does that mean? So essentially, when we use the internet, our only confidence as users is that when we see the little lock in our Internet Explorer or whatever browser you use, you know that there's a security a certificate there involved. And basically what that says is that your traffic is encrypted between you and whatever website. So like when you log into Facebook, or more appropriately when you log into your bank's website. What this is saying is the NSA is privileged to all the information you pass back and forth. So it's much, much bigger than we originally thought, which is that they have information on all your cell phone data. Not only do they have all that data, they also potentially have all the information that you pass over the internet, which is crazy. People look into this. It's something you should be interested in and something you should be passionate about. Okay, deep breath after that last one. On to something fun and exciting. Now, if you could eat Facebook, yes, if you could eat Facebook, what would it taste like exactly? Well, a couple of dudes over in Croatia, get out a map, find out where it is, have created an ice cream flavor called Facebook. It's blue like Facebook. They just thought it would be funny. So essentially what it is it tastes apparently like bubblegum-ish, something along that line, bubblegum plus vanilla ice cream. And the owners of the shop have said that it's sold out like crazy, mostly because people are excited by the novelty of it all. However, if you're ever on vacation over in the Mediterranean area anytime soon, check it out. You can try Facebook-flavored ice cream. And that's it from us here at Claris Networks. I'll catch you soon. Again, I am Dan Thompson, and we'll talk to you later on What's Up on Tech.